Hello patrons and welcome to September's cosplay tutorial. This month I've decided that the tutorial will be on properly putting on and securing your wigs. And then as a little bonus at the end I'm going to show you guys how I fill in my brows to match my wigs. So we're going to jump right into it. The materials that you're going to need are obviously whatever wig it is that you'll be wearing. You're gonna need a wig cap. Wig caps come in a lot of different shapes and forms. When I first started cosplaying, the only wig caps that I had access to were the like skin top wig caps, and those are basically like a pantyhose sack that goes over your hair. And I actually prefer these ones. If you've ever ordered a wig off of eBay, they normally come with quote-unquote free gift, and it's normally one of these mesh wig caps, and these come in all different colors. Normally they come in black, that's like the standard, but they also have white ones. They have these like darkish skin tone, like brownish color. They've got blonde ones, like pretty much any color that you might need to go under your wig they have. And it's not really like super important that the color match, but I have found, for example, if I have a wig like this one that's a very light color or one that's white, having the lighter color wig cap underneath can kind of help hide your natural color from peeking through. Putting the white kind of helps. And then these also come in closed end. So this is like a little sack. And then there's the open end ones. The open end ones are really nice when you have really long hair that you need to hide under your wig. Because the way that these are designed to work is you put it on like a necklace with the elastic band at the bottom. And then you pull it up onto your head, and then you just pull this back. So if I had long hair, the rest of my hair would be sticking out of this hole in the back, and then you can take that hair and just kind of like pin it up on your head. You can also utilize these though as though they are a closed cap wig. Generally I like these the best of any wig cap that I've ever used. Wow, I super segued on wig caps. I didn't mean to do that. I was just telling you materials. Oh my god, I suck so bad. Okay, sorry. So that's wig caps. And then I guess I'll just like segue into bobby pins. You'll also need bobby pins, and I like to just start with like way too many of them, because if you don't use all of them, then you can just like chuck them in a bag, but you might use all of them. So bobby pins also come in many different shapes and forms and sizes and whatnot. So I have here, I have some silver, some blonde, black bobby pins, this kind of like brownish color, and then there's these like big honkers. I like to use those for like really heavy wigs. And then there's another method of securing wigs on your head, which from what I've heard works really well for heavy wigs. My technique works fine for me, so that's what I use, but I will talk a little bit about this other technique. And that utilizes, I believe I've heard these referred to as wig pins. They come in big and small forms. Obviously the bigger ones are a little sturdier. We'll fiddle with that in a little bit. So I like to kind of start out with just a big lump of bobby pins. For today I'm going to use just the blonde ones. If you cannot find bobby pins in the color of your wig, or they're like stupid expensive or something, you can spray paint your bobby pins. That's actually what I did for my concept art Elsa costume, because her hair is stark white and I couldn't find white bobby pins for a reasonable price. So I just took a bunch of the blonde ones and I laid them out on a paper bag, and I just hit them with white spray paint and let them dry, and then flipped all of them over and sprayed them again, and they worked fantastic. Like, you'd never know that they didn't start out as white bobby pins. I just don't know. I don't know where they are now. So I'm starting out with my little stack of bobby pins, and like I said, I start out with like way too many. Like, I've got a ton of bobby pins here. And the first thing that you want to do is get your wig cap on. Start by doing this, and even though I have short hair, I like to secure it as much as I can, so I'll kind of tuck any pieces I can behind my ears. Black ones for this. And then I'll secure that as best I can. Since I don't really have much hair on the sides for pins to grab onto when I'm pinning the wig to my head, I like to kind of try as much as I can to like separate out this hair and like give myself something to grab onto. Wig cap is going to do most of the rest of the work. And then I always make sure I like put a little pressure on my sideburns to make sure that they get stuck up underneath the wig cap. And then pull this guy up until it's right at your hairline. When you have short hair like this, you can just leave the little lump, but I like to secure this guy so it's not irritating me all day, so I'll just pull it forward and just pin it down. So, boop. So now that your wig cap is on, you can go ahead and start putting the wig on. So your wig is off. You want to handle your wigs gently, especially if they have had styling done. So like my bangs are a little styled, so I'm trying to be a little gentle with it. I always like to make sure that these little tabs are secured on something. So the purpose of these tabs is to tighten or loosen the actual like cap of the wig. Generally when I get eBay wigs, they're made a little small, so I don't ever really go further than the first little loop on the inside. You can also just like cut these off if they bother you, but I've found that if I leave them loose, they have a tendency to like to try and like stick out from the side of the wig because they don't have anything like keeping them in place. So now to put on your wig, you're gonna want to start from the front. So I like to take my wig and I'll line it up where I want it in the front, and then I reach back around and grab the back little elastic bit and just kind of ease that onto my head. And then I'll kind of go around. This wig doesn't have sideburn tabs because it's very, very cheap. If it did have sideburn tabs, this is a point where I would go and like make sure that those little sideburns like sat covering my actual sideburns. Make sure that no hairs are getting stuck up underneath the cap of the wig. You can kind of fiddle with the styling a little bit. Oops. Make sure it's comfortable. If it were pulled back, you'd want to make sure that the base of the wig is hitting the base of your wig cap or a little past, so there's no overlap. Now that's on your head. So for some people, awesome, great, you're done, let's go. For me, I've found that wearing my wig like this throughout the day, it would start to fall off of my head eventually. Also, if I move just right, you're seeing my hair poke out from the wig. So I'm going to show you some pinning techniques that I've found to help those things not happen. First and foremost, the one thing that I always do, no matter what wig I'm wearing, is I always secure it at the top of the head. And you want to make sure anytime you do anything with bobby pins securing a wig, you want to mirror it. So if I put a pin here, another pin is going to go in about the same spot on the other side. If I put a pin here, one's going to go on the other side. So for these top guys, I like to kind of tuck up into the wig there, and I'll kind of like shimmy it a little bit, make sure it's actually going through the wig and into my hair. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, there's that. For a wig like this, where there's not a lot of weight pulling on it, if you had the sideburn tabs and you weren't worried about your hair poking through, this would be fine. However, if you do have a wig that's very heavy, there are a couple of things that you can do to help secure it. The first thing that you could do to help secure it is just do that like a million more times. Just like litter your head with bobby pins. So when I'm wearing a wig like Sailor Moon, anything like my Megara wig, I just used like a full thing of bobby pins and just put them everywhere. And especially where you want to make sure that the weight is distributed is like up here, like near your temples and where the weight is. And you can even like just sit with it on your head and kind of like put a little extra weight on it to see where it's pulling from and then secure those areas. Let's say I had like a ponytail right here. I would do some more weight distribution, like right here. And there. That's pretty secure already. See, like, that's just 4 pins and I'm tugging on it, and it's moved a little bit, but like not all that much. So talking about heavy wigs, the other technique that I've heard for securing heavy wigs is you want to take 2 of these guys and you want to pin them in so that they sit like this. So you want to pin one in like here. So that's going straight back. And then you want to do another one in the same spot going the opposite direction. You guys see that? So there's the first one. And there's the second one. And what I heard is you want to do that like right at the top and then like on either side. Again, I've not tried this technique myself. I like the bobby pin technique because I think bobby pins are a lot easier to find in a lot more colors. And you have a lot more control over security and like where you're putting them. But that's my personal preference. What I would recommend is maybe trying both techniques and see which one works for you. So now what I'll do is go in and take care of spots like this where you're seeing my actual hair poke through. And the way that you're going to minimize this and make the wig look a little more natural, so you're gonna take your bobby pin and you're gonna grab a little bit of the hair, and then you're just gonna tuck it. So I'm spinning it around, and I'm just gonna tuck it back up underneath the wig. And I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna grab that little bit of hair. I'm gonna pull it over here. And I'm just gonna tuck it right in there. Grab the hair, twist and tuck. So now, whoop. See what a huge difference that makes. Now it looks a little more like the hair is coming out of my head, and I could even continue doing that a little further up. Just tucking that in. So you can see the difference now between not pinned, pinned, not pinned, pinned. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There we go. So now those are both nice and secured. The wig's not going anywhere. What you can also do is that same thing here in the back along the nape of the neck. What you do in that case is literally exactly the same thing. So you're gonna take a little bit of hair and just tuck it up underneath. And tuck it up. So I can't really see. I can't see the screen, but it feels secure. So there's the difference between the not pinned side and the pinned side. Now, obviously, part of what's making this look a teensy bit ridiculous is that my eyebrows aren't even close to matching. So I am going to show you how I change the color of my eyebrows. Now, this is not something I would normally do once I have the wig on my head. And the reason is you can kind of already see I'm having trouble like getting to my eyebrows. So I would normally already have this done with my makeup before I put the wig on. So I start with an eyeliner. For red, I actually use a lip liner because I have an amazing red lip liner that looks fantastic. For black, I use a black stick eyeliner. For brown, I have a little pot of brown. And then for weirder colors, I have this palette from Sephora. And it's fantastic because it has a little bit of everything. And one of the things that I utilize the most is these like 2 rows down here. And these are all different colors of like gel eyeliner. But I do also have this white stick eyeliner. And then I have 2 angled brushes. One of them, if you can see, so this one is a little bit thinner, and this one is a little thicker. So I'm going to take a white pencil. I'm just going to fill in the shape of my eyebrows. And for people who are more adventurous than I am, or know things about shaping your eyebrows, you know, you can also do this to whatever the shape is that you like for your eyebrows. I'm not very skilled at that, so I just follow the natural shape. So from here, I'm going to take that big wider brush and I'm going to go over that liner with a color that's even closer to my wig color. So in this case, I'm going to try to blend together this like pale yellow color and this white. Put that on there. And this, I want to really like get in there, so I don't brush this in. I dab it. And that way more pigment is able to latch itself onto the liner. So there's the difference. Between my natural brow and my colored brow. That's like a huge color difference. Holy crap, my eyebrow like went away. It's a little too white for me. I might go in with a little more gold. That's better. So it's kind of up to you and up to your character, you know, if that's something that you want to do, if you want to just stick with your natural eyebrow color, if you want to just do like whatever normal, natural coloring you would for whatever color your eyebrows normally are, to give it some contrast, or if you want them to like blend a little more. So that is the basics of how I put on and secure a wig and how I change the color of my eyebrows. So hopefully that helps some of you. And if you have any questions, as always, you know, feel free to shoot me a message or just ask, like comment on the post on Patreon. As always, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I really, I cannot express to you fervently enough how much I appreciate your support and how much it means to me, because I really honestly truly would not be able to do what I do without you. For those of you who are interested, I am streaming now on Twitch, so my schedule is up on my Twitch channel, and I do creative streams every Thursday from 12 to 2, so if you would like a little more insight into my working process, that's a great way to do that. And I love you guys very much, and I appreciate everything you do, and I will talk to you guys soon. Toodaloo.